We are live, and that is no jive. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Beer Man Network on this Tuesday evening, a surprise broadcast. That's right. We are live right now for the Philadelphia Flyers game. That's right. Decided to come live. We will not be taking phone calls tonight, but we will be here for the Flyers game, doing a live in-game broadcast here tonight using a different setup tonight. Tonight we are broadcasting from our tablet. So we're doing something a little different tonight, trying something different here on the Beer Man Network. Because after all, last night was broadcast number 1. Tonight is broadcast number 2. But I don't know if I'd really call this a broadcast tonight per se. But we are here live tonight for Philadelphia Flyers playoff hockey. That's right. So we will be talking about this game, and we invite you to join us through the chat room. Okay, so you are invited here to join us through the chat room. And tonight you'll see here on camera, there's no Beer Man Network logo up or anything like that. We're just going to do it. We're going to bring it to you here as, like I said, it's a special unannounced broadcast. So there you go. So, yes, indeedy. So, yippity yip. So let's go Flyers is the definitely the tagline with tonight's broadcast. Like I said, really, it's not even a broadcast. So let's make sure everything's good to go here. I see we're having already an issue here. We'll just share it out. There we go. And there we go. Now people on Facebook land can see it. So, yes, indeed, we are live. Like I said, 1-0. Philadelphia Flyers currently lead this game. They, of course, have home ice advantage in this one. So, yes, our Philadelphia Flyers do have home ice advantage. And I am representing with my, there you go, Flyers. There you go. So, yes, indeed. I don't own much Flyers gear, but yes, this is a shirt I purchased at Kmart back I don't want to say many moons ago, but it was a good while ago. So anyway, we're here. We're going to talk about this Flyers game with you here in the chat room. And we're going to have tonight's drink. I told you we do drinking broadcast. This is more of a party broadcast. So there it is. Bud Light, Lime, Arita. It's Razarita. There you go. Oh, so good. So, yes, indeed. This will make sure everything's good to go here. I want to make sure you guys can hear us, too. Okay, so that's good to go. Alrighty, so, here tonight on the surprise broadcast, in-game Flyers playoff game broadcast, we'll call it. It is an opportunity here to kind of sit back. Like I said, no phone calls tonight. We'll just sit back and have a good time tonight. So, there is about 5 minutes left in the first period. Flyers are playing great defense, holding on to that 1-0 lead so far. And they are pretty much showing us here that they are prepared to win this game and force a Game 7, which will be great news for each and every one of us. So, yes, indeed, it will be good news that they won it. So, that's that. Let's see what we have over here in our chat room. No, we don't want a poll. We just want the chat room. Let's see. Okay, looks like for some odd reason, I don't know if it's not going to give me the chat room or what it's going to do, but alright, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see the chat room or not tonight. That's what I'm looking for here. I don't think it gives me any option here to, okay, so like I said, I'm using a different setup tonight. Well, it is what it is. So, we'll see what happens. But, That's just the way it goes. So, anyway, like I said, this is a non-promoted broadcast. So, Flyers playing good D, like I said. And last night was a hell of a broadcast to kick things off. That's our call-in show. That'll be coming your way again on Sunday, beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be on, like I said, 5 p.m. Eastern Time until roughly 9 p.m. East Coast Time. So it's 4 hours. And working on some special guests for that broadcast to take your telephone calls. So we will definitely be having a good time on Sunday night. As I expect most people probably aren't near their computers tonight because of the fact that the Flyers are playing. Of course, this is a critical game. This is the elimination game. If New York wins, it's over. But I believe the Flyers are going to win this game. I predicted Flyers 3-2, but so far it's 1-0 Flyers. As long as the Flyers stay in the lead, who cares what the final score is as long as the Flyers win? So we're rooting on the Flyers tonight. Tomorrow night is Game 7 in New York. Yep, they go up to New York that quick and play Game 7. Let's hope the Flyers can win that game, but first they have to win tonight. So we'll see. It'll be good to watch this one. Now, for a minute, we'll spread the latest news with you guys. And this morning I woke up to a story of a FedEx plant shooting down in Georgia. So, yeah, it's been one of those days, hasn't it? You wake up and the first thing you see is a shooting down at the FedEx plant in Georgia. So, then we have this big breaking story with the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers basketball team who made racial remarks in the privacy of his own home. But look, why do we need racism in 2014? It's beyond me. Why do we need it? What is the point of racism in 2014? I mean, come on. Look, this world is stressful enough. We don't need that stuff in today's world. So let me just say that, okay? They're the two big stories of the day. And of course, the weather. It's been miserable. There's going to be flood warnings in effect tomorrow for the Philadelphia area. And I guess we're lucky to be alive at this point, right? I mean, lots of people are killed when major tornadoes hit the South. So just the fact that we're alive and well tonight is a good thing, right? So, you know what? Let's celebrate life tonight as we watch the Philadelphia Flyers take out the New York Rangers in game number 6. So that's what I'm watching here on the television screen tonight in the studio, of course. But, yeah, last night was fun. Talking to lots and lots of callers last night and people hanging out in the chat rooms and all. But I did promote that the next show was going to air on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So last minute, I'm sitting around here watching the game, and I'm like, you know what? Let's make it more interesting. Let me go on live during this Flyers game. So that's the one nice thing of the internet. You don't have to schedule it. You could just pop on. On the radio, your hour of broadcasting time was up, and it was no fun. So, you know what? It's a great thing that you can pop on whenever you want on the internet. So it's a lot of fun, and it's great to have the freedom to just be able to say, you know what, I feel like doing a show right now. And, we advertise it, but it's 8:11 on the East Coast. The Flyers are playing in Philly. Well, of course it's not going to be packed house because why would people come here when they're watching a Flyers game? I mean, of course you can come here with your alcohol and they'd rather listen to the announcers of the hockey game, I'm sure. So, and I understand that. Let's face it. I'm like that with baseball. I'd rather listen to the announcers of the game, to be honest with you. Some of my favorite announcers in baseball include the New York Yankees broadcasting team, the New York Mets broadcasting team, the Boston Red Sox broadcasting team. So guys like Michael Kay and Jerry Remy and Um, Gary Cohen in New York. Of course, here in Philly, Tom McCarthy, who, like I told you guys, has been on here numerous times. We're going to get all that, um, all those audio clips and, broadcast up here eventually. It's just that, to get all that up here is going to take a little time. So, I'll do it on a day when I really have a lot of free time on my hands, which could be sometime, maybe Sunday morning, late Sunday morning. I'll be able to put that all on. So we'll have it all up before the show hits the airwaves at 5 p.m. East Coast time, or I should say hits the internet, as we do things here worldwide on the net. We are the Beer Man Network, and it is Tuesday, April 29th, 2014. Hopefully you had a good day. I've just enjoyed my second day in a row off from my work. Tomorrow I will be heading back though, so tomorrow I'll have a little time after work to maybe throw a few more things out there on the Facebook page. By the way, our Facebook page now is facebook.com/Beerman Network. Simple as that. Facebook page, facebook.com/Beerman Network. As the Flyers defense has been able to shut down the New York Rangers here in the first period, we are wrapping it up here at about 25 seconds to go, and the Flyers almost scored a goal. But the New York Rangers defense is definitely helping their goaltender out over here. And with now about 15 seconds to go in the first, it looks like Flyers will end the first period up 1-0. And intermission is coming up, so maybe people hop aboard for the intermission hangout here. So we'll see. All right, so it's end of one. Flyers are up. That's good news. Defense, like I said, played extremely well. And the Phillies will be playing shortly. They're in a rain delay right now. But in the Philadelphia area, does anybody care? I mean, really. A playoff hockey game versus a baseball game? Let's face it. Nobody cares about the baseball tonight. Oh, I do care, though, because I do have my MLB.TV subscription that will allow me to see that game, since I'm watching the Flyers here, like I said, on the television. But, yes, indeedy. It's funny because with technology, you can use things like MLB.TV on your tablet, phone, or air computer. So, it's a good thing. And Scott Hartnell, by the way, has the assist on the goal tonight. So, yes, indeedy. So, we are now coming up on about 15 minutes on this in-game Flyers playoff game broadcast here on the Beer Man Network. And that's pretty much the gist of that. See, we're going to make this a little more laid back tonight. See, I try to be professional at times. I try to be really professional. And then there's some other times we just kind of have the chill hangout going on. And that's exactly what's going on right now. So, Facebook, kind of quiet tonight. Kind of super quiet tonight. So that's fine. Like I said, I can't even run a chat, it looks like here, from what I could see. If everything, I see, that's the thing. When we use the tablet, I didn't use the tablet last night. I used the tablet to broadcast. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but oh well. So, I just don't know. So, yes, indeed. So, like I said, if you go to our Facebook page, you can like the Beer Man Network on Facebook, and there will be a lot more things added to that page in the coming days. Everything's just beginning to launch now, so we're in the process of building it up, and That's what we do. We build things up from the bottom to the top. And, let me tell you something. In the broadcasting world, no matter if it's old school or new school, everything has to be built up. So, we'll do that over time. Things will be built and we'll make it a blast for you. That's exactly what I want to do. And we're human here. You know, it's hard to say, but reality states that there is a lot of people who are used to the old school way of doing things. Well, here in the new school, we can kind of relax and lay back a little bit. Because when we're putting a broadcast on, we don't have to come out and stress it out. You don't have to be perfect. What the internet broadcasting, well, the internet broadcasting establishment, we'll use the word of the night, establishment. Write that down. You might need it for a future contest. Um, but that's the word, though. I mean, let's face it. It's the internet broadcasting establishment that allows us to not have so much stress put on teleprompters and other things that makes broadcasters stressed out at times. I mean, really, how many times have you watched a newscast and the anchor people or the people at the desk screw it up? They've done it because, you know what, let's face it, they're all stressing. I had a friend who worked at Q102 radio here in Philadelphia, and we would talk off the air on the phone, and then she'd be like, oh, I have to do this hit. And she would be like clearing her voice, trying to get her voice perfect so she can come on the radio and go, hey, it's your girl Kelly. I mean, really, like, come on. Like, you're playing music. People are tuning in for the songs. They don't care about the voice as much as they used to. Back in the old school, you had the Gator with the heater, the boss, the hot sauce. You had it's RJ and the disco soiree. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, you had the personalities. In today's world, people don't listen for the personalities. Now, if you're watching a show like this, you're watching it because you want the beer man. You want the beer man to come out here and bring it. Well, this is what I do. I drink these big old cans of booze, and we have a good time. And you know what? Open yourself up to something brand new. Here at the Beer Man Network, we are rewriting the history books of the broadcasting industry. We are going to change how you watch and listen to broadcast. We are going to make it fun again. We are going to make entertainment fun again. That is the slogan here at the Beer Man Network. We're going to give you prizes for participating in contests. Something I alluded to last night. We're going to have a big contest. So now, in the opening days, weeks, and months, is the time to get involved and share and spread the word that the Beer Man Network is here, and it's here to entertain you. It's here for you to have a voice. It's here for freedom. We are American made. We are Philadelphia born and raised. We are North Catholic graduate owned and operated, me being that guy. Port Richmond, Philadelphia, raised, born, the whole 9 yards. Now, I've moved it to Horsham. And soon, I will move it to a new state. Why? Because I'm chasing the dream. If you build it, they will come. If you believe, it will become true. Wishes happen when you believe is the slogan in Walt Disney World's Firework Spectacular. Dreams do come true. That is what I am here for. I have a vision and a dream to change the way people look at broadcast and how people listen to broadcast. Because with Ustream.tv, the site that's powering this broadcast, you can listen or watch on your smartphone, your tablet, or your computer. Or if you have a smart television, there are lots of ways for you to be able to tune in to what Beerman Network is airing. And believe me, there will be other talents on this network. And we're talking about people that you know, people that you like, people that are well established in the broadcasting world, from the FM radio and many other places. Soon you will find out who these people are, so you don't want to miss what we have in store for you here at the all-new Beerman Network. 2015 will be a year that no one will ever forget, because Beerman Network here in the remainder of 2014 is going to build this baby up. And we're going to do it because of YOU. You are what we are here for. You are the people who will drive this network to the top. It will be our work and our mission to bring you top-notch quality entertainment. And we won't use teleprompters. We will be trained, and like I said, we will be real with you. Real from the top of our heads, like I'm doing right now. None of this is scripted. It's all like that. It comes to my mind. Because that's what broadcasting was meant to be. We are a form of talk radio, but we also will be bringing you live remote broadcast from different locations, interviewing the people participating in the events that we will be covering. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to spread that word. It is a time where we will keep you entertained and informed, because the world is changing rapidly. The way we will do that is through Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and right here at the Beerman Network. It's all part of using the weapons that we were given to make this a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, strap your seatbelts in, because we're about to go on a great journey. And we care about you. We care about each and every one of you. Because let me tell you, back in 1992, I was a teenager who had no clue where my life was going. But I met the right person. His name was Richard Passanante. Richard was a gifted person. He was a blind man, but he could play a piano like the best of them. Richard was a top-notch, top-quality piano player, but he could not see. And Richard performed like none other. He performed at Nativity BVM Parish in Port Richmond in Philadelphia. And Richard was a special guy. And I got to know Richard so well that he introduced me to a man by the name of Ron Joseph, who was better known to the television world as RJ the Disco Man. And RJ aired a disco broadcast in the Philadelphia television market. on many Philadelphia television stations and eventually coast to coast. And it was at RJ's Channel 7 Philadelphia that I was given my first opportunity to be a broadcaster. But we didn't do things with teleprompters. We didn't do things with expensive equipment. We did things the new school way of doing them. We created our own vision. We created our own products. And most importantly, we created our own roles of doing television. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you that was many years ago, but I am the same passion-driven broadcaster that I was when I proudly served the audience of Channel 7 Philadelphia. And what I have in store for the future of the Beer Man Network will blow your mind. Take the journey. Spread the word to everyone you know. This is the journey that we can take together. We can break new barriers with the new technology that we have been given. It is going to be one big giant family here at the Beer Man Network, because I have the old school family values that I will definitely put in place. And one day, if I make it to the top, I won't forget who is riding with me on the journey. Many people who make it to the top forget about who was besides them on the journey up. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a story of a man who made a jump in life from the bottom to being somebody. At Channel 7, I was the centerpiece of that station. At Channel 7, I served a purpose. It gave my life purpose again. It gave me rebirth. And tonight, and moving forward, we will bring everything to the table. Just remember that. Now, on a lighter note, let's have a toast in memory of the late, great Richard Passanante. Getting back on tonight's broadcast, the Flyers, once again, it is 1-0 at the end of the first period. Flyers defense looks like they're ready to go tonight. And, last night on the first broadcast call-in show, I was asked a lot of questions about my past. So I would hope that what I just shared with you explained a lot. Hopefully the questions have now been answered, and we'll have a good time tonight, like I said, because we're here to watch the Flyers win tonight. That's the whole purpose of being here tonight, and hopefully we're going to celebrate a Flyers win at 10 o'clock. So hopefully this game won't be drawn out. I mean, right now we're at 8:30 on the East Coast. We'll see where it goes. So that is that. Just answering questions. See that? I love how modern technology allows me to do things. I really do. So I really do love how modern technology allows you to do things. It really is kind of fun. So But Flyers getting ready here for the second period. Home ice, of course, game 6. We'll see how it goes. So, I mean, the one thing I'm finding out as I do this tonight, we're now over a half hour in, is that we're probably going to open the phone lines for everything we do. It just makes things a little more compelling, a little more interesting, gives people, of course, a chance to voice their opinion on the air, which is something very important. Now, there will be times in the future where we do shows that we're going to have guests on, and what we'll do is we'll have an interview, then we'll have your phone calls with the guest. So you might get to call in and ask a question to somebody who you never thought you would get to talk to. So, you know, it's opportunities we're going to provide you here. So, all right, so it's the beginning of the second period. Flyers have the puck, and we'll see what happens. So, is everybody prepared for tomorrow's flooding? That's the other thing that's going to be going on. Flood warning's up tomorrow, and hopefully it won't be too bad. So like I said, tonight's show laid back at this point. We're just going to lay back a little bit, kind of, you know, just enjoy the game. I can't sit here and give you play-by-play of the Flyers game. I can't do it. It's just the rules of, I mean, you know, like I said, we created our own rules on television, but, you know, you just can't sit here and call a hockey game. Can't call any game that's pro. You know, we could call a makeshift game or whatever, or a video game I could sit here and call for you, but I can't sit here and call a real game. It's just, you know, that's kind of, you know, why they have these services here, radio, television, to do that. But one person I have interviewed before on an old website I was on was Flyers announcer Jim Jackson. He was actually a guest with me one time. It was, I believe it was Labor Day, back, I don't know what year it was, but it was Labor Day because I was doing a phone radio show, and the Flyers score again. It is now 2-0 Flyers. So there you go. Flyers just scored again, and they're well on their way tonight. Everything's looking good at this point. Up now 2-0, and there you have it. Flyers up. So tomorrow will be the big game. We won't be on during that game tomorrow night, though. I can tell you right now, we'll not be on during that game tomorrow night. It's Wayne Simmonds scoring the goal. So Wayne Simmonds scores the goal on it looks like a pass from Brandon Shen to Wayne Simmonds, and the Flyers scored their second goal tonight. So there you have it. Flyers up 2-0. If you are watching this archive broadcast, then there you have it. So if you guys hanging out here, there's your score update. So yes, indeedy. So let's see what's going on out in the world here. It looks like we're about to book a very, very important guest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just getting an email in confirming a major guest for Sunday night. I might as well tell you who it is. This one's a pretty big one. Former Philly Glenn Wilson, outfielder Glenn Wilson, who played for the Phillies in the late 80s. Once again, we will be having a special guest Sunday night. Former Philly outfielder Glenn Wilson will be joining us right here on the Beerman Network Sunday night. The broadcast begins at 5 p.m. East Coast time. So once again, just confirming it right now on the air, I'm confirming this, that Former Philly outfielder Glenn Wilson will be joining us Sunday night on the 5 p.m. East Coast time show. I will let you know an exact time range as we approach Sunday, but once again, confirming our special guest, former Phillies outfielder Glenn Wilson, will be joining us. So there you have it. So we'll get an exact time for you, but once again, as we're here tonight broadcasting during the Philadelphia Flyers playoff game, Flyers up 2-0, 15 minutes, 45 seconds left in the second period. So it's a good night. Yes, indeedy. Woohoo, it's a good night. I grew up watching Glenn Wilson play for the Phillies, so you know it brings back a lot of memories of, the good old days. Don't get me wrong, there's good days these days too, but, Glenn Wilson, former right fielder of the Phillies, he's played a lot of right field. I actually played right field in, I don't remember exactly what year, but I want to say 1984, 85 time frame. I played right field for the playground baseball team I played on. And I stole second and third base back to back. But the problem was when I stole third, the guy struck out. So really it took away my back-to-back steals. So, that happens. I mean, it's playground ball. But to me, that was a big thing in my career, back in the playground days. I mean, way back in the playground days. We're talking almost 20, I guess 20 or, wait a minute, almost 30 years ago. Wow. Almost 30 years ago. Wow, it's showing, I can't believe it. I'll be 38 in September. So it goes to show you. Wow. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So that's one heck of a get, though. I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to interviewing former Phillies outfielder Glenn Wilson, and we'll try to let you guys call in and talk to Glenn. We'll get him to take some phone calls with you guys. Make it a really fun night on Sunday night, May 4th, this coming Sunday, beginning at 5 p.m. East Coast time. I don't have an exact time of when Glenn will be here, but we are going to have former Phillies outfielder Glenn Wilson. I can't believe I'm saying that. Is this a dream or what? Wow, that's one heck of a guest. Glenn Wilson played with Mike Schmidt, Rick Shue, Von Hayes, Ricky Jordan. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, whew. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, Sunday night we'll have Glenn on. So, yes, indeedy. Wow. All right, well, right now, like I said, we're at the end of the second period. Um, you know what I should do, really? I really should start playing some of the best of interviews of the past. We have some stuff. Let me see what we can find here. Let's see what we have. I wonder if the Phillies game started yet. That's what I'm looking at, checking to see if the Phillies started playing. Yeah, it was a 1 hour and some rain delay. So the Phillies game is on. So there you have it. 2-0 Flyers. Phillies are underway. And that's pretty much what's going on tonight. So you're wondering, like, oh, why is he doing like a real laid back thing tonight? Well, like I said, we're just watching the Flyers game. It's one of those things where you'll just actually, decide to do a stream. I guess, it's not really a broadcast, it's more of a stream. But I mean, it depends, really. You could call it a broadcast because we are talking to you. I'm talking to you here. And, talking to you and pounding it down. This stuff's really good. If you never had this stuff, and this ain't a commercial either, I'm just telling you, this is stuff that I personally endorse, and I'm not getting paid to endorse it. Bud Light Razarita. Really, really good stuff. This big can, 8% alcohol, and it sells for about $3.50 in most places. I actually picked it up for $3.25 a can at the local bar. So it does takeout. A lot of bars started the takeout thing up here in Pennsylvania. You used to didn't have as many bars doing takeout. Like the wide variety of takeout items is crazy. They've got these big refrigerators where you can pretty much get anything you want in malt liquor. So it's like malt liquors and beers. But I've tried a lot of different alcohol products over the year, and over the years, I should say. And this is one that I really, really like. I started with the lime one, and they come in lime, strawberry, razarita, and mango. And it's just a good product. It really is. Great job by Bud Light on that one because it's a really enjoyable beverage. You know, you want a casual alcoholic beverage, this would be the thing I recommend. So, go ahead and get yourself one. So, yippity yip. So, that's pretty much that. But, I hate when they flash the scores across the bottom of the screen. So when you pay money for MLB.TV, you do not want these people giving away the outcome of like all the games. It's like you want to watch the games individually. I mean, it takes a lot of time to watch these games. I used to be able to use my Xbox entertainment system to watch the games by just fast forwarding through them, like basically how you do it, VCR. The old days, you had the VCRs. Now VCRs pretty much are obsolete. Matter of fact, I have a lot of VHS tapes of my Channel 7 shows that pretty much don't even work. Like you can't put them on. I mean, one of the problems I faced was where we lived in Port Richmond, you could not get Channel 7 over the air clear every night. There were nights when Channel 7 came in very clear in Port Richmond, but mind you, Channel 7 was broadcasted out of Center City, Philadelphia, and it was low power, meaning that the channel did not reach the whole city of Philadelphia. But there were nights where my family up in Northeast Philly were able to turn on Channel 7 and watch my show. So, what can I tell you? I mean, it was a big opportunity for me to be on a station that basically a million people could have turned on in their homes and watched us broadcast our talk shows. So, you know, it's definitely something that, to this day I'm like, wow. And when I was younger, I would just get up in front of that camera and do it. At age 16, I had the confidence. I always loved to play to an audience. That was the one thing that I always had a passion for. Matter of fact, had a recent conversation with a gentleman about my ability to get in front of an audience and not be stage fright. I don't have stage fright in front of an audience. So the bottom line is I love to get in front of a camera and do my thing. And I've been interviewed by many different TV stations in Philly. I was interviewed when I was hired as the beer man. I was interviewed by 7 different television stations on that day asking me why do I want to be the vendor, because it was vendor tryout day. They called us vendors. I, of course, over the years, like I explained last night, was promoted to the beer man gig, and I just ran with the whole beer man persona, and I think that's perfect for me. Like I said, spending 13 years of my life needing a job, I went out there and tried out for vendor tryout day, which we were all hired on the spot anyway. And the one lady who was a veteran vendor, peanut vendor, in the television interview says, "None of these people are going to make it." And I turned around and said to her, I said, "Look at me now." I said, "I've made it 13 years, and now finally I'm hanging it up." But it was a great run, and I enjoyed every minute of it. But I had to hang it up because I relocated. I left Philadelphia, and I moved up here a half hour away in a suburb of Philadelphia. And for you folks who are out of town, and that's not, a Torsham Pieto for everybody who knows the area. And that's pretty much the story. So it happens. So there's 11 minutes left in the second period of this hockey game. The Flyers are up 2-zip, and it looks like it's going to be a good night. So as the sirens go off outside, meaning that the fire department has been dispatched on a call. So yeah, life in the burbs is different than life in the city. One day I probably should write a book about how life is in Philadelphia and how life is in the suburban community. So different. Lots of adjustments needed to be made when we first moved here. I married a suburban woman, so therefore, yeah, sorry ladies, I'm well spoken for. I've been married over 2 years now, so I'm not an available bachelor or anything like that. I mean, it is what it is. So I'm a married man, and I have 4 nephews. There's a little background about me. I've got 4 nephews. One has a condition where he is in and out of the hospital. He's my godson. And if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen me numerous times show his pictures and whatnot on Facebook. See, that's the thing. I will tell you my personal story. I won't sit here and not tell you some stories because that's what I feel like. You have to connect with your audience. You have to make relationship with your audience. And I want to get to know each and every one of you out there in the Beerman Network broadcasting world. So that's one thing I want to do is connect with everybody and make relationships. It's important, new friendships. When I say relationships, I'm talking about friendships, of course. We're not talking about dating, but on my radio show when I was single, we used to talk about relationships. We used to have a lot of fun with it. Doing a radio show was a lot of fun back in 2007. We mainly did it during that year. Broadcasted up in Times Square on the radio. Wow, that was off the charts. I mean, out there packed in like a sardine and broadcasting on the radio was a challenge. Doing 2 hours, but we played some pre-recorded stuff too during that broadcast. But it was definitely interesting. So, anywho, we've got 8:30 left in the second period here. Flyers still holding on. Great defensive game by the Flyers defense. And it looks like they're well on their way here of pushing a Game 7 in the series. So that's good news. That's great news. So a lot of happy Flyers fans going to bed tonight in about an hour and a half or an hour and change here. They'll be going to bed hopefully here. This thing will hold up and the Flyers will win this game. And tomorrow, a lot of happy people around the Philadelphia area, who of course are Flyers fans, that their team will be playing in Game 7 tomorrow night against the New York Rangers. So, I remember the Phillies-Yankees World Series. As a matter of fact, I put a YouTube video up of the pregame coverage that I did up there in New York. I love going to New York, but in recent times, according to global warming studies, they project that they're projecting that the New York area will have a massive earthquake. Now, I know this is a deep conversation, but it has to be talked about. So, there was a movie done on CBS Network about, it was called Earthquake in New York. Then the Weather Channel did a show saying what it would be like if it was an earthquake in New York. When you see the media beating the drum about something, you kind of wonder, are they giving me a warning sign? And I took it to be a warning sign. So I kind of stay out of New York these days, intentionally. Now, if you look at recent earthquake activity, you will see that in the Florida region, there's been some action. Not in Florida itself, but close enough that it could generate a tsunami if a big one happens down there. But I still feel that that's the one place I really want to be. And that's why I'm moving the whole Beer Man Network and everything else and living down in Florida in 2015 at some point. So, that's the whole concept behind it. So, now I really could tell you a real personal story that when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I almost drowned in a pool in Orlando, Florida. And what happened was I didn't know how to swim. I jumped into the middle of 7 feet of water. And my dad's aunt was with us, and she yelled to my older brother that I was drowning. He knew how to swim. He swam out, grabbed me, and got me back to safety. And if it wasn't for him and my dad's aunt, who was no longer with us, if it wasn't for them, I want to be here today. You know, and I talked about that earlier, about not being here today. You know, I believe I'm here today in 2014 for a reason. After my recent car accident on I-95, I believe that I'm here for a very deep reason. And I hope you guys will embrace my story and get to fall in love with my passion for talking. If you can't tell by now, I really love to talk. So I could go on for hours if given the opportunity on a whole bunch of different subjects. But we're now down to about 6 minutes and 50 seconds in the second period. Flyers up 2-0. That's why we're here tonight. But of course, I'm doing what they say in the business, filling the time instead of quote unquote dead air, which would be silence. So with 6:30 left in the second period, though, Flyers up 2-0. I've got a good feeling about this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to close the door on this in-game coverage, and we will see you back here on Sunday night, 5 p.m. East Coast time, right here on the Beer Man Network. And don't forget to like our page on Facebook. For now, I am the Beer Man on the Beer Man Network saying have a great night and a great week, and we will see you Sunday, 5 p.m. East Coast time with our guest, former Phillies right fielder, Glenn Wilson. For now, I am the Philly Beer Man. Good night, everybody. Go Flyers.